Back here, first things first, we're joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Sarah Kustok. Sarah, good morning.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Thanks for having me.
It is great to have you
Nick
here.
always does the handshake, so now
Now you got to. Yeah, there we go.
Handshakes are good.
I like high fives, but you know,
we're too
it's the cold season, so dap it up. Hey, let's talk about LeBron James reclaiming his throne this season. Lakers in Chicago last night, where they beat the Bulls for their 6th straight win. For LeBron, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. That is his 3rd straight triple-double for a guy some said had started to decline last season. Some, not the guy to my right. First Laker since Magic Johnson to accomplish that feat. How is this happening for LeBron in year 17? He'll tell you.
Being a triple threat on the floor, you know, I trust my teammates to make shots. I just try to put the ball on time and on target. And they've been doing that defensively, you know, trying to, rebound as much as I can, even though I'm playing the point guard position. And then scoring, just trying to, read the defense, pick my spots, and just try to be aggressive. So, it comes with team success for me. A triple-double means absolutely nothing to me if it's not in a win. This is 3 wins for us, and I feel pretty, happy about the way we performed.
Well, maybe not totally happy, because afterwards he tweeted #WashedKing, so he does have a few other things on his mind. Sarah, is LeBron back to being the best player in the NBA?
I will say yes, but I think we look at a handful of players. Obviously, things changed at the end of last season. We forgot a little bit about LeBron James, considering the fact that he was hurt. He didn't play in the postseason. I think that's why we saw the things that Kawhi was able to do. Kevin Durant before he got injured. Giannis Antetokounmpo being the MVP. However, when it comes to who's the best player in the NBA, I think about who would you want, whether it was a 2-on-2 game, whether it was a Game 7 of the time. Who do you want on your team? And that is LeBron James. That remains to be LeBron James, and he's had a tremendous start to this season. I do think it's important to not just look at numbers. He's put up some insane numbers, and we look at the 3 straight triple-doubles, but Giannis is putting up some really impressive numbers. Kawhi Leonard, really impressive numbers. The caveat with LeBron, we always pointed to his defense as of late, and he has been very good on the defensive end. But I think flatly, when you're talking about who is the best player in the NBA right now, I still believe you could have a discussion. I still believe that it's very early in the season, so how are we going to continue to watch this, to monitor this? But right now, if there was one guy who I'd want on my side, it would be LeBron James.
No, absolutely. LeBron James is reminding everybody that he is the most dominant force in the NBA. He had that tweet this offseason and saying a lot of people were playing with the throne last year. He's going to remind folks this year, and he's come back this season with a vengeance. 3-game road trip, 3 straight triple-doubles, but LeBron James is banging the drum for this team's identity to be on the defensive end. Nick, you mentioned yesterday their coach, Frank Vogel, that's been his calling card throughout his entire career. So I like the
defense?
Defense. Yeah. And if this team is going to be as good as they have been, not last night, but as good as they've shown in most of the games that they've played this season, if they're going to continue to be as good as they have been defensively, then I like where this Lakers team is going to end up at the end of the season on into the postseason. But as far as LeBron James is concerned, I don't think there's any question marks about the level of play that he can get to. I know what we're getting from Anthony Davis. The biggest question is, what are you going to get from the supporting cast from the Lakers? And last night, those guys showed up, particularly in the second half, late in that 3rd quarter, on into the 4th quarter. They had a 13-point deficit going into the 4th. They went on a 14-0 run. Kyle Kuzma had 7 points during that run. 11 of his 15 points came in that 4th quarter. If that Lakers team is going to accomplish their ultimate goal of winning a title, they're going to have that 3rd option on the offensive side of the court. And I think that AD and LeBron both know that has to be Kuz.
And real quick on that, with LeBron James, what makes him heads above all else, he knows how to get those guys going. He knows how to set the tone for what he needs out of Anthony Davis. He knows how to set the tone. Okay, I need to get Kyle Kuzma going, so I'm going to find him for an easy cut up the gut and get him to have an easy basket so he can get his offense going. Quinn Cook, you name it, whether it's making the right pass, we saw that with the Danny Green 3. You can go on and on again about plays, but he knows moments in the game. That's what separates the truly great players, of knowing how to get their teammates going at different moments in the game. Who needs what when, and LeBron James always does
up to and including when the game was essentially already decided. he started feeding Anthony Davis, who had a brutal game. I think there was part of it was probably he's back home, had been doing a lot of like media responsibilities, maybe hanging out with some friends,
maybe.
who knows?
Chicago's a fun
Right, but Anthony Davis was on a wrist breaking his double-digit scoring streak. Like he went into the fourth quarter in single figures in points, and once the game's already decided, LeBron runs a play where Anthony's just standing in the corner waiting. And he's going to get a wide open corner three. And then they run another play where Anthony's going to get a layup, even though they didn't even need those buckets. But for Anthony, you're at home, finish on a high note, feel better about what had been his worst game of the year. I mean, you both nailed it. And the point you made, what I would call is total control of the game. Harden, I'm a big James Harden fan. And Harden's offensive numbers over this now half-decade, you can put up against, honestly, any player since Wilt. Like Kobe's best half-decade, LeBron's best half-decade, Jordan's best half-decade. Harden these last 5 years, you can put up against it. But when you watch it, he is not in full control of everything on the court the way LeBron is. Like, even though Harden's a great passer and creating a bunch of points, I talked with Isaiah Thomas, the original Isaiah Thomas, and he maybe, off the record or off the air, I shouldn't say it's off the record, he maybe took a little issue with my all-time player rankings because he thought I might have snubbed a 6-foot-tall Detroit Piston point guard. And the point he made was, so much of what the greatest players do doesn't have to show up in the box score. It's understanding how to put my team in the best position to win based on what my teammates need. And that is why the discussion about who's going to play point guard for the Lakers, to me, that is an interesting discussion, but it's only relevant through 3 quarters. Because in the fourth quarter, the ball's going to be in LeBron's hands, because last night he only had 2 points in the fourth quarter. He had 28 through 3, but he was hitting guys for open shots. He was controlling the game, and that is the one thing right now, to me, other than shooting, LeBron has on Giannis. Because Giannis is a defensive player of the year caliber defender. Giannis might average 15 rebounds a game. Giannis can average as many points as he wants, and he's a better passer than he gets credit for. Giannis is only 24. He has not yet evolved to full control of the game. Kawhi this year, with the playmaking, is evolving to that. He just don't like to play that much. So until Kawhi wants to play night in, night out, he's going to forfeit the ability to have that title. But that is what LeBron in year 17 with the gray beard can do better than anybody in maybe NBA history.
Why do you think LeBron is so keen on showing people that he never went away? Why is it so important for him with the tweets, come out hard with the triple doubles? I want to show people I'm more than just a point scorer with leading league in assists. Like, why has that been such an important thing? Why does he want to make
inside LeBron's head, but if you believe you are the greatest player to have ever played the game, which I believe LeBron James does, then you want to show that. And I think for him, I mean, we never know. You can nitpick what makes someone tick. What makes this player tick? Why are they, what motivates them? And I think a part of what motivates him is people understanding his greatness. And I like that. I like the playfulness. I love the tweet afterwards. I like the fact that he is pretty open about listening and hearing what people have to say and having something to prove.
I don't have an issue with him hearing what everybody has to say, but I don't know about LeBron James taking on this villain persona, because in the past it hasn't necessarily worked out for him. I think LeBron is a better hero than he is a villain. He's already got enough pressure on him right now with what he's trying to do this year, because he made the move to LA. It was going to be championship or bust. Those are the expectations, but there have always been high expectations ever since LeBron James came into the league, and people have doubted him at every single turn in his career. So that's why I think he's so adamant about proving to everybody that he's still the best player in the league. It's because everybody wants to find a reason, no matter what it is, to doubt him. Now, at this stage in his career, it's about him being in year 17. Can he keep up this level of play?
And just quickly, you mentioned move to LA. He still hadn't won over the Laker fans prior to this year. Laker fans didn't want to like him. You know what I mean? They had spent a long time saying Kobe. And he knows he can't fully win him over until the postseason. Didn't even get to play in the postseason last year. But there is an element of getting it was a very tepid applause, if you remember, when LeBron passed Michael Jordan on the scoring list last year.
Yeah, we made
Laker fans hadn't bought into him prior. They're buying into him now. I think that's part of it as well.
All right, let's take a break. Sarah, we'll see you a little bit later on. Coming up, has Cam Newton played his last game for the Carolina Panthers? That's next. Back here, first things first, we're joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Sarah Kustok. Sarah, good morning.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Thanks for having me.
It is great to have you
Nick
here.
always does the handshake, so now
Okay.
I'm
Now you got to.
with you.
Yeah, there we go.
Handshakes are good.
I like high fives, but you know,
We're too
it's
sorry.
the cold season,
Yeah.
so dap it up. Hey, let's talk about LeBron James reclaiming his throne this season. Lakers in Chicago last night, where they beat the Bulls for their